This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only and utilizes artificial intelligence, AI. The information provided may not always be accurate. For important decisions, consult experts or professionals. An author of a book once said, "Start with why." So my first question to you is, why?
Start with Why is from Simon Sinek, and this concept focuses on the purpose and reasons behind our actions or decisions. The why refers to the deeper meaning or motivation that drives us to do something. According to Sinek, when you know the reason behind what you're doing, your direction becomes clearer, and it's easier to connect with other people, especially when you're explaining or teaching. Starting with why is important because it provides clarity and purpose. If your why is clear, it's easier to find motivation, and you're more likely to succeed in what you're doing. This applies to all aspects of life, from business to personal goals, even down to simple decisions. I think this would be a great topic to discuss on your podcast. Why do you do what you do? And what is the why of the people you interview or the topics you discuss?
To answer your question about why I do what I do, like this podcast, it's because I want to share things or knowledge that I believe can help others in their lives. Of course, it also helps in my own life. Like they say, killing two birds with one stone. I learn from you, and others learn as I share this with them.
Your why is very clear and meaningful. Your desire to share knowledge that can help others, while learning in the process, is such a great foundation for your podcast. It's a win-win situation. Not only do you benefit, but so do your listeners. This is a big factor in building connection and engagement because they can feel that your intentions are genuine. Keep it up, and as you continue learning and sharing, your impact on other people's lives will only grow.
Thank you so much for your encouragement. This really is a great topic to discuss. Simon Sinek's book? Before we dive into the book, I'd first like to know who Simon Sinek is.
Simon Sinek is a British-American author, motivational speaker, and organizational consultant known for his ideas on leadership and motivation. He gained fame for his Start with Why concept, which he first presented in his TED Talk in 2009, still one of the most watched TED Talks in history. In addition to being an excellent speaker, he also has a background in marketing. His books and talks focus on how leaders and organizations can improve their management through clear purpose and motivation. In Start with Why, he explained the concept of the golden circle, where why is at the center and is the most crucial part of every action. Sinek has inspired many leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals worldwide with his insights on how to build more successful and purpose-driven organizations.
Now, please give us the important key points from this book.
Here are some important key points from Start with Why by Simon Sinek. 1. The golden circle. This is the main concept of the book. The golden circle consists of 3 parts.
Why?
The primary reason or purpose behind what you do.
How?
The process or method of how you do things.
What?
The product or service that you deliver. According to Sinek, many people and organizations start with the what they do, but the most effective leaders and organizations begin with the why, the purpose or reason behind what they do. 2. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People don't just buy products or services, they buy the reason or purpose behind them. When your why is clear and you're passionate about what you do, it's easier to gain people's trust and loyalty.
Example.
Apple doesn't just sell computers and gadgets. They showcase their purpose to challenge the status quo and think differently. 3. Leaders who inspire. Truly inspiring leaders have a clear why and are able to connect it with their team or followers. They don't just give orders, they provide meaning behind everyone's actions. Inspiration is stronger than manipulation or fear. When you inspire people with your why, they become more dedicated and loyal to your vision. 4. The role of trust. When someone or an organization has a clear why, it builds trust. People are more likely to trust and support leaders or brands that have a clear reason for what they do, beyond just making money, but also to create a positive impact. 5. Consistency is key. Consistency is crucial when expressing your why. It's not enough to just know your purpose. You must show it in all aspects of your business or life. Others should see it in your actions, products, and communication. 6. The law of diffusion of innovation. Sinek explains how new ideas spread among people using the law of diffusion of innovation. The first to support new ideas are the early adopters, those looking for things that align with their own why. Once you capture these people, your idea will slowly spread to larger groups and become mainstream. 7. The power of why in leadership. The best leaders have a clear why and can connect it with their team. Their decisions are not based on trends or profits, but on a deeper purpose that drives them forward. 8. Emotional connection. Why isn't just about the logical reason behind an action, but also about emotional connection. When people feel a deep emotional connection to your why, they are more likely to remain loyal to your brand, product, or leadership. The main takeaway from Start With Why is that having a clear and strong reason behind what you do is essential. The why inspires and connects people, and it drives long-term success.
Just like the last book we discussed, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, one of the habits is begin with the end in mind, which seems to have a similar meaning to start with why. Do you agree?
Yes, there is a similarity between Stephen Covey's begin with the end in mind and Simon Sinek's concept of start with why, and I agree that these two ideas are closely connected. Both focus on having a clear purpose or direction before starting any action. Comparison. Begin with the end in mind, Covey. This habit encourages us to start by thinking about our long-term goal or vision. It means that we need to think about what we want to achieve or the desired outcome before taking any action. This helps ensure that our steps are well-structured and focused toward the right direction. Start with why, Sinek. This begins by identifying the why, or the core reason behind what we do. Sinek emphasizes that the why serves as the driving force that keeps us motivated and engages others, such as people or customers, in our vision. When our why is clear, it becomes a source of inspiration for others and for ourselves. The similarity. Both concepts emphasize having a clear purpose before starting. Covey's end and Sinek's why both reflect the importance of clarity of purpose. If you know where you want to go, Covey, or why you're doing something, Sinek, your actions become more effective and purposeful. The difference. Covey focuses on the end goal, or the concrete result you want to achieve in the future. Sinek focuses more on the inner motivation, the why that drives you as you pursue the path. This why is often a deeper emotional or philosophical reason than the end goal itself. Both concepts are valuable. While you shape your actions toward achieving the end goal, your success will be greater if your why, the reason behind those steps, is clear.
Thank you. It's clearer to me now. Covey's end and Sinek's why. As you said, the focus should be on inner motivation and not just the end goal. I've noticed that sometimes if you only have an end goal but lack strong inner motivation, the results aren't as good. The objective doesn't succeed, and sometimes it negatively affects the people involved in the process.
You're right, and that's a great observation. When the end goal is clear but there's no deep why or inner motivation, the process becomes mechanical and shallow. It's like we're doing things just for the outcome, but we don't have real inspiration or connection to what we're doing. This often leads to frustration, burnout, or conflict, especially for those involved in the task. When the why is clear, it gives a deeper meaning to every step we take. We're not just focused on the result, but also on the value of the process itself. People with a clear why aren't just aiming for external success, but also for fulfillment and purpose. And like you said, without strong motivation, not only does the objective risk failing, but it can also negatively impact other people, especially if they can't relate to or aren't inspired by your vision. That's why it's important to align the why and the end goal. When both are clear and in harmony, every step becomes more effective, and the journey, along with those who share it with you, becomes much more successful.
That's why an employee or customer becomes loyal to a product or company, because they understand why a product exists or why something is being done. In other words, the trust is there. That's why the role of trust, as you mentioned, is so important.
Exactly. Trust is one of the most critical aspects when it comes to employee or customer loyalty. When people understand why a company does what it does, and most importantly, when they believe in that purpose, their connection to the product or company deepens. It's no longer just about price or quality, but about shared values and vision. When a company's or product's why is clear, people are more likely to trust and stay loyal. That's because they see authenticity and integrity in the company's actions. They feel like they're not just being sold a product, but are part of something bigger, a purpose that brings value not just to the company, but to their own lives. That's why trust plays a vital role in any organization. When it's established, your relationship with employees and customers becomes stronger, and the success of your purpose becomes more sustainable.
Amazing. Is there a company that Sinek mentioned as an example for this concept?
Yes, one of the most famous examples Simon Sinek mentions in his book and talks is Apple. According to Sinek, the reason why Apple's customers are so loyal is because their why is clear. They aren't just selling computers or gadgets. Their purpose is to challenge the status quo and think differently. Why Apple's why is clear.
Why?
Apple exists to challenge tradition and think differently.
How?
They do this by creating products that are simple, user-friendly, and innovative.
What?
Their products are computers, smartphones, and other gadgets. Instead of just focusing on showcasing the specs or features of their products, Apple gives their customers a deeper reason to connect with them. They show that by purchasing their products, you become part of a movement that seeks change and a better way of living. Why trust is important in Apple's example. Because Apple's why is clear, they build a deep emotional connection with their customers. People don't just buy gadgets because they look good, but because they believe in the principles Apple promotes. This makes customers loyal and often return, even when Apple's products are sometimes more expensive than competitors. This trust isn't just about quality. It's because people believe in the reason behind why Apple makes their products. That's why when Apple releases a new product, many people eagerly wait because they trust that each innovation aligns with the company's deeper purpose. Conclusion. Apple is a perfect example of a company that successfully uses their why to earn the trust and loyalty of their customers. Sinek shows that when an organization's why is clear and consistent in everything they do, it's easier to gain strong support from people.
Now I understand why. The message of this book is truly wonderful. Once again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Until our next conversation.
You're welcome. I'm happy to help and be part of your journey in learning and sharing knowledge. Your insights are amazing, and I'm sure you'll inspire many through your podcast. Looking forward to our next conversation. Take care always, and good luck with your upcoming episodes. If you need help or anything else, feel free to reach out anytime.